Hi, this is Susan. I wanted to show you my new kit. Well, it's an old kit, but it's a green leaf, and it's the Brimble's Mercantile. And the funniest thing is, I found an old catalog. What miniature.com is what they call it now, and it was Hobby Builder's Supply. And I was looking through the old dollhouses because I've made a lot of them, and here's the info on it. And I saw this Mercantile, and I've been wanting to do one. And my grandparents had the Mercantile during the 30s and the 40s, and they went through the World War II, and gave away their groceries and to women with children and people that just were going to starve otherwise. And then they ended up having to go into another business to pay their creditors back for what they gave away. And that was in the days with the ration coupons. So we have a lot of family history about it. And so I've been dying to do a Mercantile because they were in a thriving town. And they were downtown in the strip. And I can just picture it all in my head from the stories and just, seeing things in movies. Anyway, so this is the Brimble's Mercantile by Greenleaf, and I've never done a Greenleaf, I don't think. I've already punched one out that I was wanting to do, and it was between doing this country store is what I started out, but it really I wanted a Mercantile. So this is it. But the funny thing is I went to buy it, and I thought, I better look in this one spot in my storage before I go and buy anything else. And there it was. And I don't even remember buying it at all. So it must have been like the last thing I bought before I never bought more dollhouses and stuff. And it's just been there all this time, just waiting for me to build it. So I'm so excited to build this. And the best thing about it is it doesn't have, in the pictures, it doesn't look like it has siding. See right here? I've got this on my lap. I'm sorry it's so dirty, but literally it's been sitting for, 15 years or something in this box and just sitting there waiting for me to build it. So it doesn't look like it's got siding. So I'm so thrilled about that because that other dollhouse that I punched out, and it's a green leaf too. It's the willow, or I'm looking at it from across the room. I haven't started. I spent a lot of time punching it out before I started my channel, and I didn't know how busy this would be, to do videos and stuff. It's very busy work. So, and I haven't even really learned editing. So anyway, let's get on. So I have furniture for you today. I would have saved this, but it's new furniture stuff, so you might want to see what's out there. And let me know what you think about this Brimble's. Any ideas or any thoughts, and I just love to hear about it. So if you've ever done one, Greenleaf. If you've ever done a Greenleaf, since I haven't done one, I don't think. So anyway, this was the chair I wanted so much for my room box that my Easter kind of themed one. So, or around that time frame, spring, Easter. So I never found this one. And I really looked, and it's so strange when you can't find something on eBay because there's so much. So anyway, I ended up ordering chairs. And so I'll just show you this in case you're looking for this kind of a chair before I paint it all up. I got 4 of these, and I said I wasn't going to buy anything, but all I wanted was one chair. So I bought 4 in case I'd use them, around a table and need more than 2. So I'm kind of trying to be better about not spending, but we'll see. You know how that goes. So it's kind of closed. It doesn't have the Queen Anne legs. It does have the pretty ladder back. And it does have these, they're nice turned legs and very delicate. Now see, the sizing of it, here's their spring sale thing. But see the sizing of it compared to this one that I can't make out. This looks like Town Square. So I was but it looks like it has a letter in it too. But I was looking. Yeah, it does look like Town Square's emblem, because I've got this other chair over here, and in the box, the Town Square box from Aztec, does kind of look like part of their logo. But if you ever find this, I still really want this. And I mean, I spent hours 2 different times going through the Queen Anne legs, the ladder back chair, the oak chair, the chair with a fabric cushion. I tried everything, and I didn't find it. I didn't even come close, and that's really strange. So I did see this, but it is smaller once I've got it. Now, I've got to make some cushions, and that'll give some height to it, and maybe some heaviness if I do them dark or whatever. So we'll see how this turns out. I think they're real delicate and really cute. They're just kind of closer to, if this is 1/12, and this is kind of close to the 1/16. And I was looking at the, I do have 2 of the Bond chairs, and let me grab those. See what I did with them. I didn't even think to talk about the Bonds, but let me show you, if you're interested in these chairs, because it seems, I have this feeling about when I get a feeling about something, it seems like it's coming into style or becoming popular again. And I have a real strong feeling about oak again. And I was never an oak person, so not the light oak. So I think it's coming back for some reason. But this is the Bond, and look at this size. It's way smaller, like definitely 1/16 of. You know, it's got the same design, kind of similar, and look how much smaller it is. So I thought Bond was 1/12. So I was going to use these, and I went to buy some more to add to it, and they're not even close in size. So I did see that before I went and purchased them. So anyway, I don't have any use for these. So if somebody is needing them, I'll sell them to you. These yeah, these are brand new. I mean, they're brand new. I had to open the they've never been, I've got 2 of them. And I won't use them because I just don't use that size. I mean, like I said before, I stick to 1/12 because I'm older and my eyes are going, and you know, they're going to go one day, and I won't be able to see all my little cute stuff. So I don't really, as much as I love to look at the little things, little tiny things, I just don't spend time buying them. So I bought this guy. He's going to be in my Mercantile. I'm thrilled about making this Mercantile. He doesn't look like my grandfather. My grandfather had hair. He actually had these wavy, I don't know what actor. I saw somebody today, a politician, but he had that wavy hair. But he'll do for now. I have to find a grandmother to be my grandmother by his side. And I told you the story in my doctor's office about them adopting my mom. And so they have this $5 off 50 code 5 spring, but you have to go to miniaturecrush.com. That was where the chair came from. This chair, and the man. He's porcelain. So you can see the sale ends March 31st if you're interested. So that's just the rest of the chairs. And I was really good. I mean, they have a lot of stuff. I was really good. But I didn't buy a whole bunch more. Now, I did buy this for my dollhouse when I was trying to find the dining chairs, because I switched out from the red colors to the brown colors, because I'd looked at the red colors for 30 years in my dollhouse. And so I wanted to use my walnuts, but my dining room is not, it doesn't have 6 chairs yet. and I'll find them eventually. But I had these. These were I found on eBay. They were like real cheap, and it had 3 pieces. It was 2 without the arms and then 1 with the arms. And I think it was just left over. But these were new because they came new in a box, and I got a super deal on it. But this is, I think it was Mini Crush. This, where I just got these chairs, was called Miniature Crush, but I think that there's a Mini Crush as well. It was one of the big sellers that sells through eBay. So, you know, like it's a store as well. Anyway, real cute chair. I don't know why I got 3 for like $10 or something. Real good deal. And so that'll kind of, I needed 1 for a desk. So anyway, they're carved. Real cute. That was before I found that big red haul. Okay, so let me show you this. I wanted to do something with the resin, and I had bought this. This was from, these are those China pieces, and there was different upholstery. I found this stripe that I liked better than this, like a damask. It was something that had kind of a, I don't know, this is more limey green. It was more sea green or something that had maybe a little bit of a flowery kind of looking. But anyway, I wanted to do these, the French country, because they've got the pretty legs. And so I don't know, I just wanted to try. I haven't painted white yet, anything like that. So I wanted to find something that I could do it with. And when I got these, they're so pretty. I hate to mess something up, but anyway, I saw they had a lot of these, so they probably still have them on eBay. And they're real delicate. But the weird thing is, you know, the China stuff has got this orangey tint to it. And, well, not that this isn't from China. I mean, it's an Aztec. It's probably made in China as well, this chair. But it's more close to walnut. So does anybody know why this is so orangey color compared to the brown walnut? You know, it's not too dark a walnut. But that is so orangey. Anyway, you can take your alcohol pen. I've showed you that, where you can take an alcohol pen and you're essentially coloring over the sealer that's on the wood when it's been sealed, and you're tinting the sealer, whatever the varnish. So you can do that to the color. You might try it, you know, underneath. But I did do that in some pieces that were very orange. So I have that. And then I couldn't resist this. And okay, let me get this out. Probably not doing this right. But I want to show this to you. It's so pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Couldn't resist. So, look at this beautiful work. It's just something. It's so carved everywhere. Just beautiful. And it has an extra layer. Just lovely. Very nice. Now, I don't know if this line, if it has a name, but I get it off of eBay, and it comes from China, because I'm waiting 3 weeks for a piece. So it's just really pretty. I don't know if you can see all the detail. Very pretty. Even has kind of this lattice looking right here. They had two pieces. One was kind of a buffet, just this section down, and then I couldn't remember which one I'd gotten, so glad I pulled it out. But I think it's really pretty. So I think they're still available. There might be a few available. I don't know how that works, if they, you know, go in and the shop's got some available, they buy them up and then they sell them, or if they order. The man that I talked to at one point, I was asking for a medical bed, and I actually sent him a picture and said, you know, could I have this design, this made up? And he said that they had to have so many pieces made up, like 50 or something like that, for them to take on the commission of doing it. Which, you know, 50 pieces, I told him, I said, this would sell really well. It was a 1930s medical table, the table. So, yeah, I figured it would sell really well. Okay, so I'm going to show you this next thing. Got to make some room. Okay, so this, I had said that I got a broken piece and I would show it. I bought two, and of course if one breaks, then you've got the other one. What are you going to do? So I had to negotiate with the seller to, let's see, to work out. This didn't get broken, the bed got broken. And I wanted this French, you know, where you have the drapes with the bed and all. And this is so pretty. It's so tall. It's narrow and tall. So, I'll show you all the pieces, parts to it. It's really pretty. Not really filming it very well. So, this was the obviously I'm trying to stay out of the picture. I'm not even dressed for it. Okay, so it's kind of deep, you know, it's deep. I guess you could put blouses. You've got a shelf here. So, but it's all carved. These weren't cheap pieces. This was $46, $50 or something like that. Right around $50 with tax. But the bed was broken. And so that was a problem because I got them to match. And let me get the bed out. So when I was talking to the man, he told me something which I want to pass along to y'all, that it cost $30. He said for me to send the bed back. We didn't even talk about the armoire. That to send the bed back, it would be $30 to $50 to send it back to China. So I was like, So now I've got some wiggle room to talk about making a deal, and and me fixing up, try to fix the bed myself. And so, I'm missing a pillow. Have one there? Okay, we got the pillows. So, $30 to $50 is quite a bit. And so he said that he also imparted that he had 2 beds broken in shipping, so he wasn't going to be selling this anymore. He was going to pull it from his, I guess, his eBay inventory. So it goes like this. Let me put it up against here. You can see this is broken. This is anyway, this is broken right here. And then it's broken from the unit. Has these sweet pillows. And it's beautiful carved, just really pretty. But in inspecting it, I think it seemed like it had some problem that I would have wanted to discuss with him, which I want to tell you about it. See, it's got the pad that comes off. It's just really a piece of thin wood with foam. But see right here, see the little blemish? It's been painted over. And what the deal is, when you inspect your furniture, when I was looking at this, it has a pin on one side, right there. There's a little pin. But on this side, there's not a pin. So what happened, I'm pretty sure, is the pin was crooked and it went through the side wall of this bed. And then it wasn't there to help sturdy this, although the whole box looked like it had tumbled over and over and over again. It was really crushed on all corners. And I sent him a picture of all that. But so I told him, I said, I don't want to glue this back together for nothing. And I'm really disappointed that it's broken because I paid quite a bit for it with all the carving that's on it and the curvature of it. I mean, you can see how pretty it is. And so I said, starting off, and we went back and forth in messages, and, like I tell y'all to, be patient. You will have to talk to him a few different times, through messaging. And you will have to discuss things, and you want to think, if I want to return this, then just fill out the return thing and return request. But if you want to work something out with them, then you start kind of talking to them and find out if they speak English to begin with, because then you'll know how limited you are in discussing it if they don't speak very good English. So he does. He's a common seller, and I told him, I've bought from you before, and I was really disappointed about this, and so, he knew that, he didn't want to lose me as a customer. Oh, even look down here. It's even got more pretty down here. I don't know if I noticed that. So, anyway, and it's on the side. Look how pretty that is. Yeah. Anyway, so I said, what if, you give me $30 back on this, and I'll try to fix it. And that way you don't have to have it, it won't have to be shipped back to you. So this can be glued for sure. And so I've got to figure out how to put that pin in and keep it from sliding in that hole that they already made that slides out the side of it. So that's why I think maybe these are seconds, that sometimes they get a good deal on a second. Anyway, so he took the offer of giving me $30 back. But something happened in the eBay transaction, because I went ahead and put a return in the beginning before I started talking to him and realized I'd get 30 back because I thought he'd just replace it. And so it kind of messed things up. And he said, well, cancel the return and I'll just give you the $30. Well, eBay does not want you to cancel a return given that someone's going to tell you they're going to do something. They have to actually do it because they might change their mind and not really do it. And you canceled the one-time return and you can't do another one. So they told me afterwards, I kept record, they have record of every conversation we have, the messaging, and they let me know after that it wasn't okay for me to accept the $30, given that he wanted me to cancel the return. And so that it was a good thing that I waited and let eBay work it out and make sure that I got the $30. So they did that. They took the $30 out of his account and gave it back to me. and instead of me canceling, and it was only because I couldn't find where to cancel the return. I had bought from him before. I was going to trust him. So I just couldn't find where I was supposed to go in and cancel it. So I hope you understand what I'm saying is don't do anything, before eBay has plenty of time to look at your messaging back and forth and make a determination if you've filed a return with them. And you need that. You need them to make a determination. And I told you before, like, of course I want to glue this so quickly, because it's beautiful and I want to do something with it. But if I have done anything to it, then if he said, no, I changed my mind, go ahead and send it back. Well, I wouldn't get my money back because I altered it. So don't ever alter anything until the transaction is finished and eBay says it's finished, because you'll otherwise you could possibly lose your money because you've altered something. And the only time I've lost in the going back and forth with, eBay in between us was when I washed something. So don't alter anything. Anyway, so I think it's going to be fixable. I just don't know how sturdy it'll be. But if it's in a position, to lean against a wall or something, it won't be terrible. But that'll hold it up. So it's really pretty. And the armoire is going to be, really pretty with it. I just wanted some real fancy bedroom. And so anyway, that's that. So I had some other things I wanted to show you. Let me get this off of here. When I was changing out my dollhouse to the walnut from all the red colors, there was some pieces that didn't work out, but they're awfully pretty. So just thought I'd show them to you, because as soon as I show you my room box, then I want to get into my dollhouse and go through it. So these pieces are very interesting old pieces that you might be familiar with, that they're walnut, and these are the dark, the dark walnut that this is, I guess, an entry hall. Holds your umbrellas and your canes, and has these working drawers that actually come out. And it's real nice, but it's tall. It's super tall. So you have to have a really big dollhouse that has a big enough entry to use this. And then in that case, you probably have more red or, furniture. And I say red because I mean like mahogany stained, or even the dark best pack or the cherry, anything that falls into the red category. But it's a really pretty piece. It has this up here. It's really carved and nice. And this was if you look for this on eBay, this was a Hobby Lobby piece to begin with. It's called a hall console, and it's made by Small Town Treasures. And that was the price. Back 20 years ago, I guess. And so this was in my stash, but it's my dollhouse is like really limited. It's a beautiful dollhouse, but it's really limited where you put things, because it's got unusual walls and roof line, and that's the thing when you're building. If you haven't built a dollhouse yet, do message me and ask any questions you want, because I've built enough of them now that I know that you can look at the outside and see a beautiful dollhouse, but the inside is where you're going to be working with all your pieces, and that's where you're going to be putting everything in, and that's where it matters. It really matters Oh my gosh, this has a little dent. This has never been used. The plastic must have gotten hit. Oh, it's got a little nick there. Okay, so let me show you this piece. I thought this also might work like in a castle or something. It's not necessarily just for, I don't know where to put all this stuff. For just a regular, it's pretty fancy. This came from, this was Hobby Lobby as well. And it's got the Hobby Lobby logo on the clamshell. But it's Small Town Treasures. And it cost originally $29.99. And this was, I don't know, 15 years back or something. So, real pretty gold, kind of a buttery gold, margarine gold. Real pretty with the arms and then without the arms. But very, looks like the table needs candelabras, real ornate table setting to go with these ornate chairs. And these chairs are kind of in between. They could be like kind of used for modern, but then they're also, I think, could go for a castle or something. And here's a trestle table. And it's got some carving. But it also, see, it got bumped. Got bumped in the pack. Because all I did was pull it out to try it in the room. And it hasn't, I guess it got bumped when it was in the clamshell. Because that's on a corner. So, it's got the unusual shape to the tabletop too. Real pretty. So, I may try to use this in my castle. I've got a couple of castles. One's bigger than the other. And, using the foam, the insulation foam boards that you get at the Home Depot, home stores, those are fabulous. I've done 3 things with that insulation board. And then on the outside I used the egg cartons pieces to make blocks. And so I highly recommend using that insulation board. But anyway, back to the dollhouse. What I was saying is, if you're picking out a dollhouse for the first time, now if you already have a kit, then go for it. But if you haven't you haven't decided on one yet, and then here's this was with it too. It's got nice long legs. Pretty, real pretty. This whole set is real pretty. It didn't work in the room because I'm so limited, but you'll see that. You'll see what I'm talking about. The roof line affects everything, and that's a smaller dining room, and then it's got the stairway going over it. So it's just got real pretty carving up here, and I like the long legs. Kind of like a highboy, Queen Anne highboy. So when you're picking out a dollhouse, my theory was like pick 3 different designs you like the outside of, and then go and look at the inside and see realistically how you would put your furniture in there, or things that you want to have in your furnishings, because that's where it gets tricky. Anybody who has a dollhouse, you know what I'm talking about. That, you've got your gables and your roof line. If it's a tall gabled roof line, a mansard roof is nice because gives you more room inside of the upper floor. But and mine's so tall that it affects the second level and the third level. And, the attic's like much smaller. And I like the mansards, and I have some kits. I'm going to do a mansard next time I do just a regular dollhouse. After I get these these done. Well, the other green leaf I have is a mansard roof. And so that'll be nice. But I think you can put a lot more furniture in that style. And when I'm saying mansard roof, that's where it's more squared off on the roof line. And gable is where it's at a peak. Everything comes to a peak. And they're both beautiful. And then, of course, if you have a front opening dollhouse, then, you know, like in Great Britain, they have a lot more front opening dollhouses. And I think that's more the trend. And I like that idea because it takes up less room, you know, to look at both sides of it. You know, to be able to look at the front of my dollhouse and play in the back. It has to sit out from the wall and on its own table. So, anyway, so I wanted to show this to you. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was I have a friend that he loves to go to thrift stores and look at electronics because he's in the electronic field. So he likes to buy things. And he always amazes me because I don't know anything about electronics. But he'll get things that cost, you know, $1,000 and he'll get it for $10 or something. Or 20 or something low. And so I always ask him to look for videos for me. I love old Hollywood. I mean, it's my passion. There's nothing, I mean, I don't really care about other shows. I'd rather watch old Hollywood all the time. But I wanted to share, he sent me a group of things. So I wanted to share some thoughts on it. And the first thing is this came out of one of the movies. And it's got like, could be used for like posters, you know, to put in a kid's room or something. If they were a John Wayne fan or at the age of cowboys and stuff. And so this is from The Quiet Man. But there's actually a letter from Maureen O'Hara. Has her signature. So that's kind of neat, you know, if you look for those inserts in your old movies and stuff. And here is Rear Window. And there was a funny story. I was in a Barbie club years ago. And this lady came and asked me, because she knew I did miniatures, if I would do the set for her Rear Window. She was going to be in a contest. They have a convention where they have contests. And so I wasn't sure about it, you know, how that worked or anything. And I really didn't have the time. So somebody else did it, but they did a fabulous job. They did the sound stage, kind of, you know, the filming stage for what looked like, I think it was Rear Window. But actually, it was one of Grace Kelly's, you know, because Grace Kelly's in Rear Window. And it might have been that they did Grace Kelly dolls that year, and so that's why they picked her for the theme or something, and you were supposed to do any of her movies. That might have been what it was. But whoever did she won. She typically won the contest. But she did the clothes. The lady that asked me to do it, she did the clothes for Grace Kelly. So anyway, I was looking at this that my friend sent. Look at this. That is a fabulous poster. Alfred Hitchcock. You see the binoculars? And I lived in New York to be a designer, and I just didn't take to it. I missed Texas too much. And I missed the lake, and I missed, you know, all of what I'm used to and what I grew up with. And my little sports car was just sitting in the driveway, getting old. And so I came home, and I just didn't want to go back. But it was funny because we were in a tall building where this is what they do. They do look at each other across the buildings when you're in a congested, you know, building area, apartments, up in the buildings. They do look at each other. And it's kind of funny, the building life. It was so different. Everything was so different in New York for me. This was in the 80s that I just couldn't adapt. I just missed what I was used to. And you know, having parks and lakes and freedom to walk and freedom to drive and not feel like you're going to be hit by a taxi everywhere you go. So it was just really different. It's a great place to visit, though. It's a wonderful place to go and visit and go to the theater. And when I used to go back and work in the jewelry, which is different, I was in clothing, when I went back and I worked in jewelry in the at the market, that we would take a limousine and be kind of sheltered. We'd work all day though. We'd be so tired. It was hard to even eat dinner. So anyway, I got this rear window, and so it reminded me of all that and about New York. And you know, she has beautiful clothes in this. So this is interesting. You know, I think these movies kind of give you either clothing ideas or they give you furnishing ideas. And so I love they inspire me. They really do inspire me. Okay, so this is something I hadn't seen. This is Lionel Barrymore, but it also has Beulah Bondi in it. And this is like an elder couple that take in an orphan boy, from what I was reading. And so this is going to be old furnishings. He's in a wheelchair, so you get to see the old wheelchair. And so they're going to have old kind of style, maybe a farmhouse. So I'll get, you know, good information. I just love the oldies showing me the houses, you know, because they do film in people's houses. Okay, now this is one of the best movies. I've actually seen this movie. But this is based on a true story. And if you remember, they did jingles. You used to be able to... This is about this woman who won all these prizes doing jingles. And they had like a whole group of ladies that got together and helped each other with their jingles. And it is such a good movie. If you haven't seen it, the prize winner of Defiance, Ohio. And the time period, they spend a lot of time in the different houses. And so you get to see all furniture and decor and stuff. But they're raising 10 kids on 25 words or less is what it says. So it's, you know, look at the old typewriter right there. But anyway, it's really good, and lots of good close-up stuff. Now here's one that is The Changeling. This is Los Angeles, 1928. So this is a real eye-opener because we don't see as much furnishings from the 20s to the 30s because of the Depression. People, you know, couldn't afford to refurnish, only the wealthy, which when you see movies, you see a lot of in the old movies, you see a lot of opulence because that was, you know, the production companies were buying this big, you know, opulence. And you might know the Shirley Temple story she was to help people get through the Depression and find the joy and everything, and watching her do her dancing and singing and being so cute. But this is 1928, so there's lots of good clothing tips and furnishings and what the lifestyle was. And so I like that movie a lot. And this one, now I have this, but this is one of the very prettiest movies for the oldies. And they go walking through the house because she's putting the lights out, and she likes this boy next door. So she has him walking through the house to make sure there's no mouse in the house as she puts the lights out. So you get to see all the different rooms of this like Victorian era mansion. And the clothing is beautiful, and this runs the whole season. It goes from one season all the way through the year. And they have it's young people too. So a lot of energy in it, and it's about the fair, the big fair that was coming to their town, their hometown. Anyway, that's a fabulous movie for sets. If you're doing a Edwardian, about Victorian Edwardian, kind of more into Edwardian. If you're doing an Edwardian house, this is the movie to give you inspiration. Okay, he picked up this one, which I'm sure I have. I love Shirley Temple, so I have a lot of her. And if you haven't ever seen Shirley Temple movies, they are very good. I've showed them to friends, guy friends, and they always say, I didn't know they were entertaining. I thought they were a kids movie. And they're always surprised at how good the movie is and how much good content it has. So it does. This one takes place in London, turn of the century London, with a lot of the coal, the darkness. And it also has influence of India in it. She came from India. Her dad brought her and put her into this school with Miss Minchin, and it's a girls' school. And then it goes on to what happens to him. But this is Victorian England, so you get a lot of the idea of what that's like. And whoops, excuse me. This he gave me this VHS, which is, I'm dropping a VHS. It's kind of heavy. This is Gaslight, because I have a VHS player. So the oldies, a lot of times you can only get them in VHSs unless you want to pay a whole lot. So sometimes if they're really good, I'll go and buy them in DVD. But I just love all the oldies. So I keep my VHS working. This has a really neat desk in it. I remember there was a scene about a desk and something she had forgotten or lost or whatever. But the desk was really interesting if you get a chance to look at this. And it's a beautiful stairway and the living room and all the different rooms and her room. And really neat content for giving you ideas how to decorate. And this one, I don't know what this is going to be about. This is 1900 Vaudevillian. Of course, it's Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra, so it's going to be a musical. But it looks bright and cheery. It looks kind of Edwardian clothes on this lady here. But so anyway, I'll be interested in seeing this one. So I just wanted to share that, movies give you wonderful insight to how they dress. Well, this plastic is really bad on that one. It's really reflecting all of this, I guess. But see, you get wonderful clothing ideas. This one is great for going through the whole house, even the kitchen, seeing all the different parts of a big Victorian style mansard roof, I believe. It looks a lot like the Greenleaf Beacon Hill. The Beacon Hill. I think that's the one. It looks very much like that one. And it's a beautiful house. And so you get all the ideas of how they furnish everything and the colors, as well as their clothing and what went on in those times. This is a very fun-filled movie and a lot of information. And very entertaining if you haven't ever seen it. It's just really bad. It's really great. Now, of course, it's a musical if you don't mind musicals. I know some people, aren't into musicals anymore. So anyway, I just wanted to share those because I sure get a lot of good information from the oldies. And so I think that's everything that I was wanting to show you today. Okay, so please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know if you have any questions or comments. And I love to hear from you. I love to visit and catch up and, get to know people. And any comments you want to tell me about the Brimble's Mercantile, I would appreciate it if you've done a green leaf. Any tips on a green leaf? Because I've done all the Duracrafts and, I've done several of those, but not a green leaf. And it is different. Punching it out and it's thin and then you have to put the siding pieces on it. It really seems like overwhelming. But anyway, so thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.